The Kell of Kells. There's been many who have attempted to unite the fallen back to their glory days, but have failed. In Revenant, Fikrul promises himself as the latest, but also is beginning to revive some very interesting characters behind the scenes. Let's discuss. Let's first start with the tomb or prison of the elders and why Fikrul went back here. Now the answer to that question is pretty self-explanatory. The tomb contains many powerful combatants. Eliksni are a big part of that, but so are the other species. It doesn't really seem to be a fit for Fikrul to save or revive a cabal, if that's even possible with this echo, but we know Eliksni seem to be the main focus. The first major objective here seems to be the Barons of the Tangled Shore. Fikrul ruled over these lands back in the Forsaken Days, so it makes sense that he would go back here to his old stomping grounds. A stronghold that contained the most notorious scallywags throughout the system. Seems like a perfect place to recruit followers for your new army. Throughout Tomb of the Elders, we encounter many of the Barons Fikrul and Aldrin Sov ruled over in Forsaken. I haven't played the mode too much, so I'm not sure if they're all in there yet or if there's rotations they'll be added in the future, but I know for sure I've encountered the Rifleman with some of the bonus challenge objectives and also Elacris the Machinist. Others found in the files include the Hangman, the Mindbender, Trickster, and the Mad Bomber. These Barons were lowly outcasts fallen from the House of Exile, a group of dregs. When they met Fikrul and Aldrin though, things would change with this dark ether. It would change their ideals and also their physical forms, shaping each of them and making them skilled in their own fields like sharpshooting, creating bombs, and pike riding.
Know your enemy before you deal with them. Rexisvan, the Hangman. A silent sadist, used to dock the arms of dregs with its bare hands. Cannings, the Mad Bomber, emphasis on mad. Demolitions expert, with an irritating way about him. The Trickster, Araskis, a liar and a schemer. Friendly advice, trust nothing she touches. Hyrax, the Mindbender, has a rep for manipulation, has a morbid obsession with the Hive. Yavix, aka the Rider. Leader of a bombastic gang of pike-riding heathens. They sow chaos everywhere they ride. The Rifleman, Pirha, the only fallen alive who can make the shot that mortalized Cade 6. Elacris, the Machinist, scourge of soulless descent. This one sits atop a trove of tech, heavy armament stolen from me.
To my knowledge, yes, Fikrul brings some of the Barons back, but it doesn't seem like they have a big part to play in the story of this episode. And what I mean by that is there's not really any lore tabs on them, and I don't even think there's any dialogue. Seems like they were just kind of used for gameplay purposes in this activity. Now that is kind of a letdown, but unfortunately with the current way these episodes are laid out, this is what we have. This could have been a mini Forsaken 2.0 story with Aldrin Sov or Crow on the other side this time, but instead we really just have the main two, Fikrul and Skolas, and some of those once prominent Barons are now pushed to the side. It gets interesting when we begin to reach subjects of revival beyond the Barons. Skolas is the main focus here of Act 2, Fikrul heading to the Prison of Elders to revive him. Skolas is an interesting choice to revive. He first rose to power during the Reef Wars as a member of the House of Wolves. We've seen some of these events play through in the new cutscene. He played many tricks on the Awoken and declared himself the Kell of Wolves after overcoming the previous leaders and even tricking some of them. He was a ruthless leader and also was the one responsible for docking Varix's arms.
Skolas once told me to stand still like you. Then he cut off my arms.
A time later, Varix betrayed Skolas, allowing Marasov and the Awoken to capture him and bring him to the Prison of Elders for the first time. There he would remain for a bit until Marasov sent Skolas to the Nine as a gift, but somehow he either ran free or the Nine let him go. Skolas looks at the shrapnel gun in his hands. Skolas imagines what he would do with it if he could reach Varix, or the brother of the Queen, or the alien Queen. Will it save anything they've lost, the worlds docked from them? No. It cannot change the past, only the future. Only the chance that his people might one day know themselves as more than pirates and scavengers. He should have never tried to be Kell of Wolves. He should have tried to be Kell of everything. Everything wants to kill his people. The machines and the militants and the green-eyed hive. The dead soldiers that hoard the great machine and come out crusading to wipe all hope away. The ship will be yours, the creature says. It hunches over itself as if burdened by its own shape. If you speak, you will be heard. I will go now. You are free. He tries to follow it. He fails. Somehow, it is gone. He goes up to the throne room and sets his weapon down in the great seat. Skolas, Kell of Kells, goes to the ship's comm and looks for the sign of a servitor for the way to plot the course. Fast forward to the events of the House of Wolves. Skolas returns and intends to unite all the fallen houses and reclaim the Great Machine. He tried to unite different houses like the Devils and Kings on Earth, and even others like the House of Winter on Venus. In the end, he used Vex technology to try and summon members of the Wolves through time, and even tried to use the Vault of Glass to his advantage. The Guardians thwarted these attempts. From there, he was captured and thrown in the Prison of Elders once more, where the Guardians would grant him his final death in the arena activity.
You face Skolas, the fallen Kell of Kells.
He betrayed Skolas twice, at Cybele, and again now. He will betray Skolas' dream 10 times more. Varix will never be strong like Skolas, big like Skolas, a leader like Skolas. Varix will work for the Queen, oversee the prisons, watch his fellow fallen, they are fallen, it's a good name now, fight and die as gladiators who want nothing except a chance to herd Guardians, even Skolas.
You caught Skolas. You brought him to judgment. You are my friend, and you can stand there if you want.
Old warden returns. Did you miss us? We have no need of your loyalty. Rix, look here. You face Skolas, the traitor cat.
Fast forward to Revenant, this is where Fikrul finds him in the Prison of Elders. To me, this revival can be seen as good and bad for Fikrul. Skolas is powerful and may be able to assist Fikrul's new army, but part of me also believes that Skolas would want to be the Kell of Kells and rule on his own. That is, unless the Echo somehow allows Fikrul to control his army and their minds. We know that the Echo seeks a new wielder that's not Fikrul because he rules in this way and corrupts Elixir to create this new army, so it seems pretty dangerous. Does the Echo want a character like Skolas, as the cutscene may have hinted at, or someone else we know like Aramis or Mithrax?
It seeks an old strength. Strength to guide the scattered through a time of doubt and wrath. But it sees now how Fikrul wields its power. False life for an army of the slain, with those like Skolas for his pawns. The Echo seeks another wielder.
The two are very similar though in Fikrul and Skolas. Fikrul called himself the new Kell of Kells in this episode. He seeks to unite the Elixni in a new dark way though. And on the other hand, you had Skolas who was simply trying to band all of his people together. Maybe the Echo sees that as more worthy. The cool thing is that all of these characters kind of want the same thing. You have these two on the enemy side, but also characters like Ido, Aramis, and Mithrax who want sort of the same thing, to unite their species to what it once was back on Rees. So we got all of these threads, all characters that sort of want the same thing but are driven to different paths to achieve it. What about other powerful Elixni? Will Fikrul revive more of them, say in Act 3, maybe even former Kells? One of the most notorious Elixni you can think of would be Taniks. Now Taniks is not in the tomb, but he's been back a million times, so why not? It is interesting to think what other big names are out there. It seems like they're all kind of involved in this storyline, at least when it comes to the Elixni. Taniks seems like the only outlier. Let me know in the comments though if you think someone else could be revived that we're missing. Now while it would be hilarious, Skolas does seem to fit the mold of the story Bungie is trying to tell. Plus we only have like an hour or two left probably of content in Act 3 I'm assuming, and they would try to wrap it up rather than introduce more issues like Taniks, but you never know. Anyway Guardian, that's all we got for today's video, some discussion on Fikrul reviving characters like Skolas and what it might mean in the end. He went to the Prison of Elders for a reason, to try and build up his army, Skolas, the Scorned Barons, who knows what else, but will it come back to bite him in the end? If you'd like to see some more Destiny, lore, and mysteries just like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.